Hi all, this is the question we are going to have a look at today. Please read the question and answers carefully. Pause the video and try to find the right answer. If you are able to find out the right answer, please let us know in the comment section. Okay, let me explain the question to you. A financial services firm runs a legacy application on Amazon EC2 instances located within a private subnet of their Amazon IP. So basically, they are hosting their application in an EC2 instance which is running in a private subnet. Employees access this application from their work issued laptops using a custom desktop client. Okay, to ensure reliable and high performance connectivity, the company's internal network is linked to AWS through a direct connect connection. Okay, so they are linking their on-premises with AWS using a direct connect, a dedicated physical link. So due to strict regulations, the organization must ensure traffic from employee devices to AWS is encrypted. So this is very important, encrypted. At the same time, solution should preserve the consistent network performance provided by Direct Connect. So which of the following approaches meet these requirements? As I told you before, read the questions, pause the video and try to find out the correct answer. So these are the key points. They use Direct Connect for secure and high performance connectivity. The traffic should be encrypted. This is very important. And then the EC2 is in a private subnet. Okay, let me explain you some basics about a direct connect connection. So what you're seeing is the on-premises, the corporate data center or office, and this is the AWS cloud. You have public services, VPCs, and private resources hosted inside the VPCs. And there is something called direct connect location. There are multiple locations. You have to choose the one uh, you want to connect to. You can choose the nearby location. So in the direct connect location, they will have multiple racks. The racks you're seeing here is the rack for AWS side. So they will have AWS direct connect router. And then what you're seeing on the right hand side is the rack for customer or partner. So this will have a customer or partner router. So who is the customer? Customer is the one, the company is the customer, or it can be a router assigned for the partner. The partner can be the service providers like Airtel or Tata. So uh, this is the direct connect location. The direct connect location will be linked to the AWS's backbone network like this. And then this connection between the AWS direct connect router and the customer or partner router is called cross connect. So when you request a direct connect connection with AWS by sending a request to direct connect location, they will create a virtual port in the AWS direct connect router, and they will link that virtual port with the router of customer or partner router. So this is called cross connect. And then it is your responsibility to establish a physical connection. So this is a time consuming process. You have to make a request. This will usually take weeks or months to establish a physical connection between your on premises and direct connect location. So this physical link will be between the customer partner router and the router on your side, that is a customer gateway. So this is a WAN connection, WAN. So you have to create a connection through AWS console. So we are in AWS console. We have to go to direct connect. Let's try to create a connection. This is a costly service, so let's not actually create a connection. Let's just explore the options. I would also recommend you not to create any connection because this is a costly service, and establishing a physical connection, you know how costly that is. So go to create a connection, then go to classic, You can give any name to your connection and then choose a location. I'm choosing Mumbai. Okay, so then you have to choose the desired bandwidth for the new connection. So it can be 1 Gbps or 10 Gbps. So you can see another option called on premises, this checkbox. So you can connect through an AWS Direct Connect partner, or you can uh, connect to it directly. So without this checkbox, this means it is a customer router. If you check this, so it will be a partner router. So you can choose the service provider. Let's choose Airtel, and then you can create a connection. After you create a connection, you have to create the virtual interfaces. So you can either create a private virtual interface, or a public virtual interface, or a transit virtual interface. So these are the three types of virtual interfaces. So let's read the definitions of private interface. So create this if you want to access Amazon VPC using private IP address. And public, you have to access using public IP addresses. And transit if you want to this is an interface, it's a VLAN that transports traffic from a direct connect gateway to one or more transit gateways. So if you want to connect to multiple VPCs which are connected through transit gateways, then you have to use this option. So if you come to the private virtual interface, you can give it any name, and then you have to choose the connection which if you had already created a connection, you have to choose this connection, and then you can either choose the current account or another AWS account. So after you create a virtual interface, you can connect this with either of these two things. One is the direct connect gateway. So if you want to connect to multiple VPCs and regions, you have to connect your private virtual interface with direct connect gateway, and then from there it will be connected to multiple VPCs across regions. If you want to connect to a single VPC in the same region, so if you select direct connect gateway, you have to choose any direct connect gateway, which you can create from another interface. I'll show you that later. So if you want to connect to a single VPC in the same region, you have to create a virtual private gateway, and then connect your private virtual interface with the virtual private gateway. And then you have to choose the number of VLAN for the new virtual interface, and then set up configure BGPAs and all those things. Let's not go in detail. Uh, so we'll see what a private virtual interface is. So if you want to connect from your on-premises computer to an EC2 instance which is running in this VPC, that means basically you want to connect to a single VPC in AWS in the same region, you can establish a private virtual interface and then connect with the virtual private gateway which is linked to this VPC. So if you want to connect to multiple VPCs across regions, you have to link this private virtual interface, create a private virtual interface, and then link that with the direct connect gateway. From there it will be linked to multiple VPCs across regions. So coming to a transit virtual interface, when you try to create that, you have to give it a name, choose a connection, choose the account, and then you have to link that with the direct connect gateway, and then set up VLAN and BGP ASN. So you have to create a transit virtual interface, connect that with transit connect gateway. Sorry, I'm sorry. This is direct connect gateway, which will be linked to transit gateways, which are again linked to VPCs. So if you want to connect to multiple VPCs across multiple regions through transit gateways, you have to choose transit virtual interface. As I told you before, if you want to connect from your on-premises computer to AWS public services like S3 or DynamoDB using their public IP addresses, you have to create a public virtual interface. You have to give it a name, choose the connection, choose the account, and then Since this is not related to VPC, you don't have this virtual private gateway or direct connect gateway to link to. So you have to choose the VLAN, BGPAs, and then provide the prefixes you want to advertise, all those things. Yeah, suppose if you want to connect from your on-premises computer to S3, a public service like S3 or DynamoDB using their public IP addresses, but using the more secure direct connection. In other words, if you don't want to connect to those public services through public internet, you have to create a public virtual interface and then speak to those public services. So this is the public virtual interface. So this is how you create a direct connect gateways. So to give it a name and then give the required details. This is how you create virtual private gateways. You know how to create a transit gateway. In order to answer this question right, you have to understand what a virtual interface is or what are the different types and the difference between them. So basically in this question what they have asked is they want to connect from their on-premises devices to this EC2 which is running in a private subnet using a direct connection. So obviously your mind would be thinking about a private virtual interface, but the trick is they have also told you that this connection should be encrypted. So if it has to be encrypted, you have to use a site-to-site VPN tunneling. But that VPN connection setup is not possible through private virtual interface because it has to have a public IP addressing. So you have to use a public virtual interface rather than a private virtual interface in this case. So basically you have to set up a public virtual interface, and this public virtual interface will receive all the public IP prefix from the AWS regions. You have to set up a direct connect connection, get the public IPs of the customer gateway, and then while creating the public virtual interface, you have to enter the public IP address of the customer gateway under the section prefixes you want to advertise. Then you have to create a site-to-site VPN connection. The target of this VPN connection will be a virtual private gateway which is linked to VPCs, or a transit gateway which is connecting multiple VPCs. So these are the target types. So while creating VPN connection, you have to choose the target gateway type, which can be a virtual private gateway or a transit gateway. And while choosing the customer gateway, you have to choose the existing one, and you have to choose your existing customer gateway here. By this way, you will be able to connect the on-premises devices with EC2 instances in the private subnet of AWS using the secure direct connection using public virtual interface and site-to-site VPN connection. Let's go through all the answers. The first option is set up a new private virtual interface. This is not correct. We should use a public virtual interface using the existing direct connection and specify the required IP prefix. Establish a VPN tunnel over the internet to the VPC and configure employees devices to connect to this VPN. So this option is not correct because you have to use the direct connection and not internet. So this is not correct. The second option is set up a public virtual interface. This is correct using direct connection. This is also correct. Create a VPN connection to the VPC or direct connect using BGP. Update the company network to forward employee traffic through this VPN. So this option is correct. Since public IP addressing is required for VPN, we should use a public virtual interface rather than a private virtual interface. So this option is correct. Okay, the third option is set up a new private virtual interface using existing direct connect connection. So everything is same as the previous answer, but the only difference is they're using private virtual interface. This option is not correct because IP addressing is required for VPN, so you have to use public virtual interface. The last option is set up a public virtual interface is correct, but okay, using existing direct connect connection, this is also correct. You have to establish a VPN tunnel over the internet to the VPC and configure employee devices to use this VPN. So this says that you have to establish a VPN tunnel over internet. So this is not correct. You have to use the direct connect. So the second option is the right answer. Thank you for watching the video.